Everybody, how's it going? Mr. Berger here. We're going to do the diffusion lab today. So I've got my procedure, I've got all my supplies, I'm ready to go. Step one of the procedure says to put on your safety glasses. Very, very important to, with this lab, put the safety glasses, or safety goggles in this case, on your face. Alright, they got to cover your eyes, not the top of your head. Step two says to fill 400 milliliters, or a 400 ml beaker with 50 milliliters of water. I've already done that. This is going to be our environment for this particular demonstration, for this lab per se. So 50 mils of water in the beaker. Step three says to place 1 dropper full of Lugol solution into the beaker of water. You got to get this from me. Lugol solution or iodine solution is what we're going in here. We're going to prep our environment with, again, 1 solid dropper full of this solution. So that goes in. Put the cap back on so you don't spill. Give it a little swirl, and your environment is set. Step 4 says to obtain or get 1 piece of dialysis tubing. That's coming out of the labeled large beaker. In here we got a whole bunch of these pieces of dialysis tubing. They're just in water, so a lot of them tend to settle to the bottom, so feel free to get your hand wet, dig it in there, and pull out one of these pieces. So it's going to look like this, which might be tough to see on the camera. But believe me, this is actually an open tube that is just kind of pushed together at both ends. So I've already prepped this already, so I have my 1 piece here. This gets a little bit tricky to work with as it gets dry. So if at any point it tends to dry out and become unmanageable, you can dunk it right back in the water, and voila, it's good to go. So step 5 says to twist and tie 1 end of the tubing off with 1 of the cotton strings. So you'll take 1 of these strings, twist it like a piece of candy, right, like a Tootsie Roll, and then you're going to have a partner come and wrap that string around and tie it in a knot. Right, that's going to seal off 1 of the sides of the tubing. Then inside that tubing, we're going to take, and open up the end. That's opposite this one. To do that, you kind of got to rub the tubing between your fingers. Alright, so when we get in here tight, you're going to rub this between your fingers, and that is actually going to open up this tube, because we want to stick stuff in here. Now, specifically what we're going to put in there comes next. Now, it says in the instructions to place 2 to 3 pipettes full of supersaturated starch solution into this pouch. So, really, in reality, you're probably not going to fit 2 to 3 pipettes full. So, 1 to 1.5 will be plenty. So all you're going to do in here is drop it, squeeze that dropper, and begin to fill this pouch. If you get this stuff on your hands, it's not a big deal. All it is cornstarch and water. Okay, so it's going to end up looking like this. You got that in? Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, now I'm going to call Nathan in here. Nathan's going to help me do this next step, which says in step 8 to twist and tie off the tubing to make a pouch. So he's going to hold, Nathan's going to hold our pouch. He's going to twist the top off. Again, we're going to create a seal so we can trap that supersaturated starch solution inside. So once he twists it, I'm going to take my string and just put a nice knot right around or right over the top of that twisted off area. Okay, just like that. So if I wanted to, then I could come back and trim with my scissors that excess string off of there, and again it's going to end up looking like this. Right, kind of like a piece of candy. So check for leaks next, kind of squeeze and see if anything's coming out of those tied off ends. If it's not, it's good to go. You're going to take this in a little pouch of starch solution, and you're going to place it into your environment. And this is going to hang out for about 30 minutes undisturbed. Work on another artifact at this point. Just put it away. That's going to take you through the first 11 steps in how to do the diffusion lab. Obviously, if you've got any questions, let me know, and I'll come give you a hand.